Here is our next letter. Now this one looks like two letters right next to each other, but in Russian it's a single letter. And it's very similar in sound to this one. So let's compare them side by side.
И, Ти, ты. Ми, мы.
Do you hear that guttural kind of in this one? I feel my throat tense a little bit as I make the sound. Not E, but I. Almost like you're being punched in the gut. I. And as I mentioned earlier, Russian uses these two E sounds to make words plural. So this says,
Банан.
that's a banana. And this contains
Бананы.
bananas, plural. Can you sound out this word?
Бриллиант.
What kind of gemstone do you think that is? A brilliant is a diamond.
Бриллиант.
Whereas this store sells
Бриллианты.
diamonds, plural. What do you think this is?
Матрас.
It's the Russian word for mattress. But this store is selling
Матрасы.
mattresses. Can you read this?
Блин.
A Russian delicacy, a blin, is a thin pancake, basically the same as a crepe. And this place is selling
Блины.
pancakes. Do you remember how to say cashier in Russian? As in the place where we pay.
Касса.
But if a store or theater has multiple registers, their sign will likely say
Кассы.
registers, plural. Can you guess which fruit this is?
Лимон.
And now can you guess how to say lemons, plural?
Лимоны.
Cool. Let's go on to our next letter. And can you figure out its pronunciation? So this letter is like the English F. And if I superimpose an English F over that, you can kind of see it, right? Try to read this sign.
Фото.
So that says photo, obviously. And how about this clothing store? What's the name of it?
Комфорт.
In English, we say comfort. There's a weird font on this, I know, but can you tell what they're advertising?
Кофе.
Again, we say coffee, and in Russian it's
Кофе.
And speaking of imported words, can you tell what kind of establishment this is?
Кафе.
In English, it's cafe, and in Russian,
Кафе.
that's obviously a sign you'll be seeing everywhere you go in Russia and Ukraine. Here's another sign you'll see a lot.
Телефон.
Whereas these people are selling
Телефоны.
telephones. There's our y ending to make it plural. Excellent. All right, let's move on. Next letter. Here it is in context. Can you figure out the pronunciation? So this letter is pronounced
У.
Let's take a break and do another eye chart. So which two letters would you use to sound out this?
Ты.
That was y, our gut punch version of that E sound. How would you sound out foo? Good. And
Ми.
that had the normal sounding E there versus this.
Мы.
How would you spell Boone, as in Daniel Boone? How about fee, fi, fo? Excellent. Let's get back to some signs. Can you sound out what these guys are selling?
Фастфуд.
Fast food. And these guys?
Сувениры.
Souvenirs, of course, plural. And a quick side note, those E-sounding endings are not the only plural form. I need to be clear about that. Russian words have many different endings depending on how the word functions in a sentence. You can have all these different endings, ami, of, ach. Listen.
Сувениром. Сувенирами. Сувениров. Сувенирах.
Anyway, let's get back to it. What kind of place do you think is this?
Сауна.
It's a sauna. And here?
Туалет.
Okay, we say toilet, or really the restroom, but in Russian it's called the...
Туалет.
Next sign. What kind of place is this?
Интернет-клуб.
In English, Internet Club. Last one before moving on.
Буфет.
So we say buffet, and Russians pronounce it.
Буфет.
Okay, on to our last letter for this lesson. This is the Russian G,
Г.
normally, but not always, pronounced as a G sound.
Г.
So what's the name of this shopping center?
Галактика.
And this office complex?
Грант.
And this store?
Магнит.
Which is the Russian word for magnet. There's even a city. Read this one.
Магнитогорск.
Which basically translates as Magnetic Mountain City. It's where Russia gets most of its iron and steel. Next, what's the name of this store?
Ангел.
We say angel, and in Russian it's...
Ангел.
And what establishment is this?
Бургер Кинг.
Burger King, of course. And it's funny, this place, they sell burgers, but they sound out the whole English word.
Бургерс.
But it should have that E ending, which makes it plural in Russian, right? You see, this restaurant gets it correct.
Бургеры.
I've got quite a few more signs with this G letter in it, which we'll read in the next lesson.